Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my review for One Piece chapter 1124. And I was a little conflicted reading this the first time because I read through it really fast and it felt like a briefing almost. It felt like some people were saying it feels like filler, it sounds like filler, but also it's important for Oda to emphasize these key points and drive them in right before we move on to the next part. And I'm excited for those worldly occurrences, right, that we get between arcs, and I can't wait. I'm thinking bounties, but it's silly to think about bounties, but I'm so excited for bounty increases. Like, what are we gonna get? What are we gonna do? Like, I was hoping it was gonna be this chapter, but let's jump right into the chapter. There's and Lily, not Lily. I got confused with Lilith and Vivi, and I combined the name Lily. Vivi standing on business, and I feel like she's gonna be a conqueror or something. Like, something's gotta happen with Vivi because she stands on business. She's like, I'm not gonna let you show any of that fake propaganda stuff about Luffy. And she is not intimidated at all. She stands ground. I don't care if the world is ending. I'm not gonna submit. And awesome, I love it. And Big News Morgans was saying the big events, right? Trafalgar Law versus Blackbeard, Eustace Kid versus Shanks, Luffy kills Vegapunk, right? False news, fake news. And he said, and he was going to say something else. So what is the other huge world event? Unless it was the Garp. Well, I'm thinking it's Garp went to Fullerlet Island and he got captured, right? And that's huge. That's huge news. And then Luffy would see that in the news, which prompts him to go save Garp. That would be killer. Not killer. Anyway, threw me off for a sec there. But that would be sick. Like, oh, we gotta go to Fullerlet Island. I have to stop by to save Garp. Maybe that's the detour we get. Maybe not. Maybe we go straight to Elbaf. Who knows? I'm wondering because of the figure at the end, right? The figure at the end of the chapter. That's what I'm thinking on what Big News Morgan was gonna say. And here in the next few panels, we get, I forgot his name. Anyway, Borsalino walking up to pick up the snail. And we get confirmation from, him. He's in distress. You can tell that he was in distress, in conflict with that order that he was given. And I feel like when I mentioned in the previous episode, in the video, that there's some instances that it feels, oh no, that was Sanji, where it feels like he was almost hesitating. He wasn't where he was supposed to be, which was weird. But at the same time, Kuzan, Borsalino was in a position where I'm feeling like he's kind of missing. Why is he like looking like he's attacking really slowly, or he's making his attack very obvious? Something's off about how he's moving. And he's right in front of Vegapunk and he lets Luffy grab him. Like, I feel like he wanted Luffy 100% to save him, but he had to be in the appearance of he's trying. He's 100% trying to get Vegapunk. So it was a back and forth. I want to die. I don't want to kill him. And so that's such a conflicting piece right there. But then I feel like when he got hit by Saturn and Borsalino just had to show a finishing blow, you know, that's what my headcanon right now. I don't know if there's going to be any more confirmation. I think here you can tell we don't know if he was holding back. We don't know if he was full power. I don't think he even went into his what's it called, awakening form, right? Any type of awakening. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to take on that for Borsalino. Was he holding back? Was he full power fighting Luffy? But he looked like he got knocked out. But I don't know. I don't know people's takes on that. My take is maybe he was mentally holding back. He had a little block like Kuzan. Anyway, for continuing the chapter, and then you have Sakazuki you know, questioning, did you do a half-ass job? And that's when you get Borsalino losing it. And I imagine you've never really see him ever break like this, crash out like this. And even Sakazuki was like, hey, my bad, brother. My bad. I felt that one. When he said, oh, my bad, brother. I felt that one. And we go to the Straw Hats and we see the size difference of the ships. I'm so excited for Elbaf. Finally, we're going to Elbaf. We get confirmation we're going to Elbaf. And Frankie is sick with his hat. Love Frankie. Love him. And he's mentioning everything they've done. CP0, 5 elders, the fleets, the admiral, everybody was there. And I'm like, yeah, your bounties better be billions by now. Please, everybody has to be like 800 million above, because that was insane. Everybody got a shot at a celestial dragon there. But yeah. And then some people, I need to see the official translation, because people are not too happy. So, you know, when I read it, some people were mixed on how Zoro was. And we need the official translation, because he's saying, you know, he's a, you know, sad excuse of an emperor, can't even deal the loss of an old man. So there's like 2 translations I'm seeing. I know that Zoro's supposed to be, you know, very to the point, cold, and all that. That's why he's second in command. I need to see the official translation. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but anyway, I mean, even Jinbei was, when Frankie was talking, even Jinbei's like, yeah, that was a crazy amount of force that they threw at us. And I'm like, that's an emperor right there. That's an emperor's ship, an emperor's crew, able to fend that off. Although there was a lot of stuff that happened. And Lilith wakes up. I'm glad. That was immediate. Like, Lilith already woke up. And Lilith goes ahead and reads, hears something. I don't know what it is, right? She's like, she says it twice. I heard. And even somebody says, what are you hearing? Where are you getting this from? And she cries for the loss of every other Vegapunk that goes out. And then she immediately just switches and is like, I'm hungry. And Usopp says, so what part of you is evil? And that triggers a thought in my head there that, well, now she's hungry, so she has that greed, right? Like, I don't remember now, actually, because York was eating for them, but she was greed. But anyway, my theory is that she breaks connection with that part of York, so now she has that greed part. She has Edison's part. She basically gets every emotion from every Vegapunk that's not attached to her, or like, since she's not attached, she's her own person. She is Vegapunk, just not focusing that one emotion from Vegapunk. So I'm basically saying this is a Stella, a mini Stella, without the vast knowledge of the Vegapunk records, or she's still connected, but maybe not. Like, maybe in a weird way connected and not connected at the same time. So this is almost like a version of Stella, because it unlocks all the other emotions that would be suppressed, I guess, right? So that's what I was thinking. And when Usopp said, what part of you is evil, because it doesn't seem like you're evil right now. And Luffy is in such a sad, like, mental state right now, because he's like, I promised the old man I was gonna get him out, and he's eating a giant grape, which looks hilarious. And I was gonna save him, and Lilith comes through and says, well, technically they're not dead. Like, you think they're dead, but they're not fully dead. And then that brings in the headcanon of, well, all the other Stellas are technically inside the big brain in Punk Records. That did not get destroyed. That's still solid. That's still good. So they're just in there. York isn't going to get them out because they're stored in there. Like, the Stella is the brain, is the head. So some people were saying, what would constitute death for Vegapunk? And it's hard to say, right, in that case, because when you think about it, I'm thinking that since there's one body always alive, like even if Lilith would have died and York stays alive, that is the Vegapunk. That is the heart. That is what keeps the head, the brain alive. But since he detached the brain and it's alive, kept alive by machines, does he ever die? Like, would somebody, a third party would have to go ahead and turn off that, what would you call, life-sustaining system that is there? What if the power goes out? That would kill him, right? Unless, well, it would stay alive for a little bit, but anyway. Would the brain, if the brain is always alive, is that what keeps the devil fruit? And unless somebody turns off that entire system, keeping the brain alive, would that be when the devil fruit finally dies and transfers? Or is it when one of the main bodies with the heart dies? I don't know. I wish we would get that explained to us. And I don't know if Oda will ever delve into that, because I'm very curious what constitutes him being alive. Like, what constitutes the devil fruit not transferring? Like, how can it be locked into the brain if every single satellite would have died? I don't know. That's an interesting. I hope Oda delves into that. But she basically, Lilith confirms, hey, everybody is alive. It would not explain much further than that. But then that changes everybody's spirits, and they have which was what I felt like it was a weird repeat. But Luffy is properly energized this time, and they're all celebrating going on to Elbaf. And typical Luffy fashion, he's saying, I'm gonna fight anybody to get anybody and everybody so I can get the One Piece. And we have a silhouette, Oda and his silhouettes. But immediately when I saw the silhouette, I didn't think of anybody else but Loki. That's who's at the final panel, which is what some people were saying. It's Scopper Gabon, it's Rocks, it's everybody, anybody and everybody. And immediately when I thought of what I thought of was, it's Loki. It gotta be Loki. I think. I don't know where I remember seeing Loki, but I think somebody did mention the king is Loki. I think it was Big Mom when they were trying to make a deal. Yeah. I think it was Big Mom when they were trying to make a deal with Lola being the wife, married off. I think the king was Loki. I don't remember. Whoever the king was, that's who's there. And that's the end of the chapter for me, guys. Let me give some thoughts, speculations to the next chapter. Is either we see Garp, something with Garp, something about Big News Morgan throwing out the news about Garp. Well, if we get a news, seagull falling down on the ship, I guess we would get bounties. I hope we get bounty increases next chapter. I think there's a break, which is unfortunate. But there's going to be a few more breaks because of the next Netflix adaptation for season 2, I believe, or some season. I'm thinking of any other speculations. The giant, maybe Saturn. We can see what's going to happen to Emmett's body, because Saturn was facing down Emmett, and we don't know anything that's happening there. All of the people are knocked out on the island. So I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking what they could do with that technology. But they had the technology, and then they moved it and put it into Egghead Island. So I'm guessing there's nothing there for them to use, or they didn't bother that time. But now that it's kind of half broken, they might try and open it again, or try and open it and see what they can do. Maybe not. But I'm hoping for those bounty increases. Anything else on these final thoughts on the chapter? Man, it's mostly world building, right? I hope it's just begins the world building aspect. Again, maybe an Marijoa part. Maybe we get a panel of the 5 elders talking. That would be cool. Get a little a little more info on what they know that nobody else knows. But yeah, I mean, that's it for me, guys. Please leave me a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want me to talk about, any topics you want me to talk about, any mangas you want me to talk about. And yeah, leave a comment, and I'll be here for the next one, guys. See ya.